know I'm very passionate about food, but fufu. Found out that another objective of the PM was to have a need to maximize sales revenue for the organization. You need to make profit, you need to have a higher market share, and all that. Have you had any challenges in trying to get all this in line with your product?
Oh, yes. Most companies don't prioritize data,
Okay.
right? In sort of making decisions that can drive revenue or increase your return on investment, right? It has to be backed by data. Now, one of the challenges we have is getting it's easy to get data about how many people have downloaded your app. It's easy to get data on how many people are active.
Yeah.
And the difficulty is finding data on how many people used X feature and did not like it.
Okay.
How many so assuming the customer doesn't come back to us with feedback. So you know sometimes you've done some kind of survey before, you ask the customer, is everything okay? Yes, it's like a class 1 setting. Yes, everything is okay.
True.
If you don't drill down, you most likely will not leave your interview session
With the
satisfied.
exact feedback that you
You
want.
want.
Yeah.
So data is one challenge we have when it comes to crafting features or crafting apps that will increase revenue and once again make the customer happy. Because in our minds, we might think that this new update that is allowing them to go to Mars is everything everyone wants. And you launch a thing and like, wait a minute, out of 1,000 people, not even a single person has used this feature. It can be disheartening, right?
So that's when you need to be able to take customers' criticisms on what the product features are on a higher usability or not user friendly and all that, and then you can make changes and then work on the product. Yeah, that's great. But in your personal opinion, what do you think is the future of product management or the role it is in a business? You mentioned that you work with other departments in order to come up with a product roadmap and all that. Now, this was not how it used to be in like a few years ago. In the few years to come, what do you think will be the future of product management, like in all of these things on our business?
Product management is going to be customer centric, and we are still in the transition period because traditionally, like you mentioned, it was typically marketing and sales teams that sort of drove the direction of a product because they marketed it. So indirectly, they got feedback from customers, right? But over time, in software companies, for instance, they realize that those two functions contradict sometimes. Because whereas the marketer has to sort of sell what they have, the product person, apart from helping the marketer sell what they have, is sort of also getting feedback to bring back into the development stream. So the future of product management, honestly, is going to be customer centricity. Everything about the customer. Basically, what the customer will eat, what the customer will do, what the customer will say. Because the company that fails to consider that put the customer first is not going to be profitable.
Right. Nana Amma, have you had any? Your work is a little overwhelming, I must say. Have you had any experience where you just like, you all are not thinking with me? Like, have you had that moment where you just blow off because a team member or a department is just not, thinking with you?
Yes.
You are human, right? Like,
apart from being human, everyone in the company is human, right? Everyone has priorities. Is that not the case? And sometimes I forget the goal is the customer. And there's something I read on Medium, an article that said something about making sure you don't let your ego lead. The only time individuals or departments get their way instead of the customer is when we let our egos fly. Now, because the minute we all tend to prioritize that which will make our department or ourselves better, we lose focus of the customer. And I found in many ways that happens. It's either bad communication. When I say bad communication, I'm unable to communicate the reason why I think, example, feedback from a solutions delivery team should hold on.
Okay.
It's tense. There's always friction. It's as though you are trying to push your way to get what you want, right? Honestly, it has been very difficult. It has been because it's a human institution. Like I mentioned earlier, a product manager is supposed to be a people person.
Right.
But at the same time, so a product manager is also supposed to be military like.
Okay.
Because otherwise everything will fly. You understand what I'm trying to say? So one thing I'm going to say, and I will keep reiterating, is the customer first. And one thing I've also learned in my career is you should be willing to learn as a department. That's the only way. So basically, if for instance Lydia comes to me and says something about the customer, we have a disagreement because of individual differences. Nothing to do with the customer once again. I should be able to sit back with respect as a PM and ask myself, the discussion Lydia and I just had, is it beneficial to the customer? What were we trying to do? If I'm not able to reach respect as a product manager, I'm failing. Basically, so it is great. It is not great, and it's not great that individual differences will happen, but like you said, it's a human institution. It will happen. So as PMs, you have to accept that it's a human institution. You have to accept that you can be at fault. At the same time, too, you have to realize that there's more room to learn. The more differences you have, the more opportunities you have to broaden your mind. Because basically, if SA is saying we can't do it this way, as a challenging her in a conversation that was not data driven, it is right that I go back and find information, try and understand why Lydia is saying it this way, and then ask myself the question again: is the customer going to be happy? Yes. Then you come to a consensus.
Wow, great. That's really a lot. But on a lighter note, do you have any leisure? What do you do at the time? Any free time for yourself? What do you do for yourself? Have fun? What do you do?
I actually love swimming.
Okay.
And cooking. So if you give me a big kitchen space with a lot of cooking equipment, I'll be in the Sam.
Then I'll be eating the food.
You see, that's a lot that I cook for me.
So you like cooking. What's your favorite dishes?
Can you guess?
I know I'm very passionate about food, but fufu. You see what food can do? I'm so shy right now. That's good. So, Nana Amma, finally, like, any advice to businesses who try to coordinate the role of PMs carefully in achieving market share, in trying to delight their customers, especially with fintech or software companies?
So generally, product managers are strong-headed and very independent-minded. They like to operate in this space. Now, the mark of a great company is one that gives them the room to. So you can have multiple PMs. We are not saying leave them running to run your business.
Right.
No. We are saying give your product managers the resources that they need, one, to be able to go out there and do the research and bring back the information to you. Allow them room to innovate, to think outside the box. And when they come, instead of just being, because the traditional businessman is all about making money, try and think beyond, not even thinking beyond the money. The point is, if you're thinking about the customer, the money will come.
Right.
So basically, when your PMs come to you with data from the market analysis, listen, be open-minded, and actually have a discussion with them and let them tell you what they're thinking. Sometimes your inexperienced PMs will need hand-holding. The experienced ones, honestly, when they say it's not like right. You understand what I'm saying? So as a company, I'll just say, give your PMs room to operate. Most companies still don't have product management departments yet, but with time, eventually they will have it. They will realize them.
Right. It has been a really insightful episode today, I must say. I have learned a lot from Nana Amma on the show and in our individual lines of work. I have learned a lot from her, and she has been really inspiring. You can tell from her interview that she's on top of her game. She knows what she's about, and she has actually taught us a lot today about the role she plays in trying to deliver a great customer experience. It's not just hype, but if you know her, you know what I'm talking about. If you are following us today for the first time, don't forget to subscribe. Follow me on social media, Lydia, Esenam, Adzimah, Lady Babes on Instagram, or Customer Support Secrets on Instagram, Twitter, Lady Babes. That's where I have my fun. So yes, thank you so much for today. If you have any questions whatsoever, leave it in the comment section of this video and let's have a discussion. If you have any views, feel free to share with me. And guess what? Don't forget to keep being awesome. Bye.